Hey everyone, it is Mandy Straight, and I want to talk to you today about why you might be doing your home backward when you start decorating it. And this is something that kind of hit me this morning as I was walking to the coffee shop I was going to work at, and I was thinking, it's really important that we label the why for ourselves of why it's important to us to make this space what we want it to be before we actually start making selections for it. It's really important that we see that vision before we start making selections. So what I want to tell you today is, if you have not seen Simon Sinek's TED Talk, Start With Why, I'm going to refer you to that. I will put a link in the description of this so that you can go watch it if you haven't seen it yet. This sucker's been around for a while, and I can't even tell you, when I watched it, it changed my life. I was like, oh my gosh, right, nobody actually wants to hire a designer. What am I here for? Why am I helping them, right? So this is my application of Simon Sinek's principle of Start With Why as it applies to interior design. Okay, so I made a little diagram. It's very, very technical. Can you see that? Oh, and I think it's backward for you. Sorry, read backward or put it in a mirror. Just don't say Bloody Mary. Okay, so this is Simon Sinek's thing. Pretend it's going the right way, okay? So we've got why in the middle, we've got how outside of that, and we've got what outside of that, okay? And very, very briefly, I will tell you to go watch his talk because it's amazing. But briefly, he says that humans tend to work from the outside in. We start with the what, we go to the how, we go to the why. But that's not really how our brains work. What he says is that our brains, the center, like the oldest core part of our brains, actually responds to the why and the how. And the what is the prefrontal cortex, like the newer part of our brain. So if we are responding to the why and the how, then we're actually speaking to that just basal, instinctual part of who we are in our brains and what we want, like need as a human being, okay? So what I want to talk about is applying that theory to interior design. You're going to be amazed at how it applies. This is crazy. I'm going to refer to my notes here. So if we're starting, most people start with the what. What sofa should I buy? I don't know. I kind of like that one. I don't know if it's the right choice. What rug should I buy? I don't know. This one's on sale. Sounds good. Those aren't really, maybe that's not the best way to do it. It's not very directed. It's not rooted in anything. And what we want to do is design in a way that's really rooted in who you are and what you need functionally, and also what you need like emotionally to make you feel good as you're spending time in that space. So the best way to visualize this is just so good, is go back to Simon Sinek's circles. Okay, right in the middle is the why. Why do you need this room? And before you even get to the function, don't worry about that yet. We're not worrying about the stuff you're buying. We're not worrying about what it's doing yet. Okay, so the first thing is, why do you need this room? And give it a purpose like sanctuary, relaxation, focus, connection, productivity. Okay, all of those are really good whys. I need this room in order to be productive. I need this room in order to connect with my family. I need this room in order to relax and have sanctuary from my crazy, chaotic life. Okay, those are really good whys. Write down some whys of why you need that room. Don't have more than 3 per room. You're going to get overwhelmed. I would get overwhelmed. You got to really be focused on the purpose of that room. Okay, next, you move out to the second circle, which is the how. You want to talk to yourself, make a list, journal about how you can give yourself that in this space. So this one, this middle circle of how, is the function part. You definitely have to have this part, okay? I'm not the designer that's like, make it look pretty, the function will work it out for itself, because it won't. You know that it won't. It's really important that if you want to have your book club in the living room, I know I always use that as an example, but if you want to have your book club in the living room and you have 6 people in your book club and you have 3 seats, you're not functioning in this room. So no matter if your why for the room was connection, you're not able to connect with people if you give yourself like 3 dinky little chairs or something in that room, okay? So go from your why into the how and let your how be the function. Maybe, and you might have a few more of these, okay? You might have 3 to 5, but make sure that you're ordering them in order of priority, because it's going to be, you got to know what your top 2 are. And then the 3, 4, 5 could be sort of secondary. Okay. If your primary function is to have book club, to read to your kids at night, to watch movies and lounge around, all of those are going to have different layouts as far as the what when you figure them out. And if you know that your primary function is to seat as many people as possible, then you're going to know when you get to your what in the next level, you're going to start prioritizing and saying, okay, I know I have to seat 6 people. And if I do that, then I might have to give up on how comfortable it is. There are some concessions that we have to give so that you're meeting your top priorities of the how. Okay, so make sure you make a list of your hows. It could be more clean, less clutter. It could be dedicated desk space. It could be large walkways so the kids can ride their trucks and trains and race around. And that's part of what the function of the how that you want for that room. Okay, so you have your why, which is how you want to feel in the room. What purpose is that room serving for you? You have your how, which is the function it's going to give you. It's going to help you study. It's going to help you hang out with your family. It's going to help you do all of those how things. Then finally you get around to your what. And this is again where most people start. But now that you have parameters, if you're looking at that sofa and you're like, well, I think I like that sofa. Is that going to work for me? You can go back to your how or to your why first and say, does this sofa make me feel relaxed? Does it make me feel like I have a sanctuary? It feels kind of stiff. Okay, throw it out. It's not the right sofa. Like, this is the perfect way to make all of your decisions. If you're a bad decision maker like me, just make some parameters and then you don't have to make the decision. Your parameters make it for you, which is awesome. Like, great. Take all the decisions away from me. I'm good with that. And so you weigh it against your feeling. Do I like the sofa? Okay, maybe you do. Maybe the sofa feels relaxing. Then go to your how. I need to seat 6 people in this room and 3 of them have to come from the sofa and it's only 60 inches wide. That's a tight 3 people. You better be really cozy with those people. Otherwise, not quite the right sofa for you. So what you want to do is weigh out your why and your how in order to decide on your what. And this is a much more effective way to be making interior design decisions. You don't have to be hemming and hawing about, oh, I don't know if it's the right decision. It will, at least if it doesn't narrow you down to the decision that you know you're going to love, it's definitely going to narrow you down to a manageable amount of decisions, which is what we need to do in interior decorating and design, because it's really overwhelming. Oh my gosh, there are so many sofas. There are so many rugs. There are so many pillows. If you can narrow it down to a manageable level, then you can start debating and taking family polls and Facebook polls about which one's the right fit for your room. But at least you're dealing with a manageable number of options. That is my insight for you today. This is Mandy Straight. I do interior design that fits you. And I'm doing a new thing that we started last Thursday. I am so excited. It is a design video coaching call. And that means that you get to sign up for the call. You get to call in once a week and we're going to answer your design questions right there on the call. So if you've got it narrowed down, you go through these steps and we have it narrowed down to what you're deciding between. I can help you decide between that. Not for what I like, but I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions and figure out which one's the best fit for you and your family in your home. Okay? These calls are weekly. They are Thursdays at 5:30, although this week I'm traveling. So this week is an anomaly and it's going to be Wednesday. This Wednesday at 5:30. I would love to have you there. I'm going to put the link in this description here and you'll find the link there. You can sign up. It is $50 for 60 minutes. It's a deal. We talk about all the things. We go through all your questions and I make sure that we're focusing on what you need and finding answers for you that fit you. Thank you so much for joining, and I will talk to you later. Don't forget to start with why.